what really happened. Okay, so I think I wonder if I have to press or I can't just present right now. Date and time of death, fatal electric shock. So it probably has something to do with the time because meet at 2:45 behind that building. Around 3 we split up. Went back, I found him lying there. So 3 p.m. and then his watch stopped at a little bit past 3. What does the bottle say? Let me just press on this. It's rather unusual to catch a cold this time of the year, isn't it? Yeah, I always get a little careless when the weather starts to warm up. I guess I shouldn't sleep with the window open this early in the spring, huh? I suppose common sense is not always common. So, did anyone else know that you were taking cold medicine? Well, I always took one after meals, so I'm pretty sure all my friends knew about it. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime the day of the accident. On the day of the incident, what did you do for lunch? Huh? What does that have to do with anything? You can never be too sure. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. Dolly's homemade lunches are just the greatest. Her mini omelets are magically delicious. Ouch! Why did you punch me in the jaw? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like hurting someone all of a sudden. Well, Mia? Okay. I think I'm gonna press on the time at the beginning. He called me. Okay. Or around. I'll just press on all of it. Had you ever met the victim before then? No, never. But that day, he called me up and told me he wanted to talk about Dolly. And this Dolly person is... My, it's kind of embarrassing. She's my, sweetheart. Ooh, what was that for, Mia? Oh, I'm so sorry. I just felt like slapping something all of a sudden. And Dahlia Hawthorne was also the lover of the murder victim, Doug Swallow. Before she met Mr. Wright, that is. So it was one of those nasty love triangles, I see. He was in the pharmacology department, so we agreed to meet behind the building at 2:45. Was it Mr. Swallow who indicated you should meet at 2:45? Yeah, and we were both there right on time. You said the victim was in the pharmacology department, correct? Yeah, he was studying how to manufacture and improve pharmaceuticals. Everyone called him the alchemist of IVU. An alchemist? I see. I gotta admit, it was a little suspicious. He had a whole laboratory and everything. It was filled with chemicals and strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. Oh, how fascinating. It sounds like he was quite an ambitious young man. What do I do? Maybe I should ask him for some more details. Ask about the pharmacology department. I was wondering if you could tell us a bit more about the pharmacology department. Well, okay, sure. I don't know all that much, though. A little bit earlier in your testimony, you said something interesting. You said the department uses strange machines that run on high voltage electricity. That's right, and they sure look dangerous. They use non-standard voltages, so there are high voltage cables everywhere. High voltage cables? Yeah, there were electrical poles set up all around the building. The high voltage cables run overhead around the roof. Finally, I think we're getting somewhere. I think that's enough for now. So the defendant and the victim met at approximately the time of his death. And then the defendant returned to the scene for some unknown reason. I'm not entirely convinced by his explanation about the medicine bottle either. Let me be frank here, Mr. Wright. Your testimony cannot be trusted. What do you mean? I knew it was too much work for a little girl. However, there's one mystery that still remains. There is, Your Honor? How the murder was carried out, of course. Just how was the victim electrocuted? I don't believe the murder weapon has been produced yet, correct? Well, that is... You are correct, Your Honor. So how exactly was Mr. Swallow killed? If I could somehow establish how it was done, maybe I could still come out of this mess smelling like a rose. Established murder method.
Your Honor.
Yes, Miss Fate, I will say. I have to say, this is probably one of my least favorite cases I've played so far. I don't know if it's just because I didn't understand. I actually had quite a lot of trouble with it. And I don't want to say I didn't like it just because I had trouble with it, but I found it very hard to understand, and I just didn't find it all that, I guess, rewarding when I finally did solve it. Yes, Miss Fay?
I believe that if we were to piece it together everything we've heard up until now, we should be able to solve the mystery of how Mr. Swallow died.
That would be most impressive.
Quite the brash statement coming from a rookie. But even a beginner like you must understand the basic rules of the court, yes? An attorney must be able to substantiate their arguments with evidence. Of course I know that. Actually, I had totally forgotten about that.
Now then, Miss Fay, let's see what you've got. Show me how you believe the victim was electrocuted. Do I have the... Oh, wait, it would be this one, right? Because it shows the cables. Obviously, like... This is what I was kind of frustrating about this one, is that it seems so obvious. Yeah, they were electrocuted by the cables. Like, we already established that he was electrocuted. There's a freaking dangling cable right behind the guy. It obviously would have zapped him. And I don't see how... I don't know.
As for the cause of death, I'd say this picture captures it quite well.
What? But there is nothing that even remotely resembles a murder weapon here. I'm afraid the defense is going to have to explain this in a bit more detail. Miss Fay, where exactly in this photo is the murder weapon? Right here, bruh.
Well, naturally, it's right here.
That's... What is that?
A severed electrical cable, I believe, Your Honor. Remember the testimony we've heard? The machines of pharmacology the students use in their experiments require high voltage, and because of that, there are special high voltage cables strung up everywhere.
So then, the high voltage cable...
Yes, the high voltage cable is the cause of death. That is the most likely explanation.
That certainly sounds plausible.
How could it... How...
The judge says that certainly sounds plausible. We've already established cause of death was a fatal electric shock. There's literally no other thing that could have killed him. I don't... Well, Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I believe some praise is in order. Don't toy with me, old man. Now, the victim's cause of death may indeed have been a high-voltage cable. However, I want you to think about what that really implies. The only one who had the opportunity to use that cable as a murder weapon was... the defendant.
Achoo. That much is certainly true.
Yes, and that's not all. We have proof. Irrefutable proof that will establish that Mr. Wright was the murderer.
You do? Well, what is it?
His fingerprints.
Fingerprints? You mean that the defendant's fingerprints were on something besides the medicine bottle?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. As you can see, the victim is wearing a leather jacket, and as you may know, the leather holds fingerprints quite well. You mean... Yes, it was quite clearly imprinted on the chest area of the victim's jacket. The palm print of the defendant's very own hand.
What?
I can only think of one way Mr. Wright could have left a print like that. Intent on murder, he squarely pushed the victim towards the severed electrical cable.
Order. That's enough. I think we can conclude that there is no reason to continue with this cross-examination. Stick a fork in us. We're done.
Mr. Grossberg?
My hemorrhoids never lie. The show's over, Mia. I knew that boy was guilty the first time I saw him.
No,
You're wrong. But it doesn't mean he... doesn't mean he meant to kill him. Like, I know he didn't, but...
No, you're wrong. Mr. Wright is innocent.
No further evidence is required to convince me of this man's guilt.
Your Honor.
At this time, I am prepared to render a verdict in this case.